They need to complete 69,000 houses every quarter from now to the end of 2029. But what you need to understand is they have never done that. Welcome to the Teach Me About Property podcast. I'm Massey Archibald. I'm the CEO of Teach Me About Property. And I'm here today with my boy Felise.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back,
man?
welcome back.
Talk to me, man. How's your week?
Man, school holidays.
Thank God that's over.
Oh, running amok. But you know what? I was thinking about it. Even this morning, I was on the stepper. You know what I'm enjoying, Massey? It's just the cardio machines. Like skiing, rowing.
Yep.
I think that's probably come about because of Horrocks, just that preparation, doing that. And I'm enjoying that cardio part, like just skiing, rowing, biking. This morning I was on the stepper, and that was pretty cool. You know, and 15, 20 minutes, and then jumped on the treadmill. You know, so we're getting there. Training's feeling good, recovered, getting those reps in. How about you, man? Hitting the gym, banging the weights?
Yeah, look. For me, first of all, this week, biggest thing on my radar was the All Blacks.
Oh,
man, I'm all black everything.
Let's
black cars,
go.
black clothes, black everything, man. I'm ABs till I die, win, lose or draw. And so this week we played Ireland, and the All Blacks got a new coaching regime.
Yeah,
Dave Rennie's running it. Yeah,
even a new captain.
Yeah, new coach, new captain, and what a difference leadership makes.
It does.
What a difference leadership makes. Because when you look at the team, there's almost no real core changes to the team. It's pretty much the same team.
Yeah.
A couple of different positions.
Couple of debuts. I think there's one or two debuts there.
Yeah, but the core of the team is the same, right? So really what it showed is the last coaching regime, they lacked the leadership. What you can see now from the players, one, they understand their jobs and what they're meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Two, they're brought into that. Like there's a player, Luke Jacobson, he plays in the loose trio. Like I don't rate him. I've never really liked him as a player. But man, since Dave Rennie has given him his new role, he's basically given him the enforcer role in the team now.
Okay.
And bro is a monster now. It's like he's gone, you know what? You want me to be that guy? I'm him.
Yeah.
And he's embraced the role.
Wow.
And he's just out there, man. He's just taking scalps, man. So what I saw, we played Ireland on the weekend. We beat them 40 points to 21.
That was a big point.
Pumped them. So that's number 2 and number 3 in the
And
world playing each other.
That was in Wellington?
No, that was in Eden Park. So in New Zealand, Eden Park, we haven't lost at Eden Park since 1994.
No way.
How old were you in 1994?
How old? 4 years old.
4 years
Let's go,
old.
running amok.
Young Felise, bro.
But we league players. We're not union players.
That's right. But we haven't lost at Eden Park since 1994.
Wow, what a record. What a standard.
53 tests. That's a standard.
That's a standard right there.
Yeah, that's a standard. And when we go to that ground, we expect to win. The boys play different. They're like the Zhao house.
Yeah, it's got that. It's the culture. It's the
aura.
The aura of it.
Aura. You the visiting team? We got
Since
you.
1990, they haven't lost a game.
1994, they have not lost a game. It's the longest winning streak in rugby. Yeah.
Wow.
It's the longest win streak, 100%. So for me, All Blacks, man, when the All Blacks win, I feel better. Life is good. I'm a happier person.
Energy's there.
Person. So yeah, love the All Blacks, and I always watch them, and I love seeing us play.
What is it about that? You know, we grew up in Australia, right?
Yeah.
But All Blacks fans, you guys are just
All Black.
You know, we love the Wallabies and that. But,
No, you know, not like this.
Not like the All
same.
Blacks, man.
It ain't the same.
Come on, hey, just the chemistry, the
it's
coordination.
It's a part of our DNA. It's a part of our
Massive,
psyche. It's part of who we are
in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, yeah, 100%. And you know, we wake up at some ungodly times to watch the games when they're played, no matter where they are, and supporting the ABs is, you know, it's a big part of my identity, 100%. And seeing our boys get back to the best, seeing them play the way the All Blacks are meant to play, seeing them play aggressive, running, open, free-flowing rugby.
Yeah.
It looks like the All Blacks are old, and they're playing like it, and you can see the boys are enjoying themselves. So for me, leadership makes a difference, man. You get the right strategy, the right game plan, the right leaders running the team, everyone's on board. You can tell the dressing room now, everyone's on board. You got player buy-in. So for me, yeah, AB's...
They just got lost that, eh?
Yeah, they lost.
I remember watching
the
the documentary on Richie McCoy.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
You know, and but that was my first time getting understanding in regards to what the All Blacks represents, what that's about, you know.
100%.
And just a glimpse.
What it means.
From someone from the outside, seeing a glimpse of what that is.
Yeah, 100%. But the other big thing in the last week for me was definitely, I talked about being sick. I was sick. And it's this morning, actually, funnily, I was having a chat, me and Paula, and I said, it's funny how long it takes me to get all the way back to doing everything that I normally do.
Yeah.
So, because when you're sick, like at the worst end, I can't get out of bed sick.
Yeah.
Right, bedridden for 3-4 days, right, and then you're up and about a bit more.
Yeah.
But you ain't healthy.
Yeah.
You're not back to your fighting best.
Yeah,
nah,
100%.
man. You're just not bedridden anymore.
Yeah.
And so I got sick not last week, the week before on the Wednesday, and then last Monday was probably I started to feel okay.
Yeah, recovered.
But I decided last week not to do any training. I was like, nah. So for me, a day in the life of Massey, CEO, teach me about property. When I'm good, I wake up 4 a.m. and I'm in the gym by 4:30.
4 a.m.
Wake up 4 a.m. and I'm in the gym by 4:30. That's Monday to Friday, right? And I love that. Training time, I love training at 4:30. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. Then I'll train. I'm normally home by anywhere from 6 to 6:15.
Yeah.
So I'll be there for about an hour and a half-ish.
Yeah.
You know.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Solid session, stretching.
Yeah, all of it.
Everything.
And then get back. I'll eat maybe 6, 6:15, 6:30. I'll eat. I have my first meal. Get back, smash it. I normally have porridge and a couple of scoops of protein. Then I'll head upstairs. I'll have a shower. I'll clean bathroom, bedroom. Kind of that's my cleaning process.
Yeah.
Make the bed.
Yeah.
Kind of do that. Then I come downstairs. I'll clean the kitchen because I've made a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
So I'll clean up the kitchen. And then I'll start, that'll get me to about maybe 7, around about 7-ish. And then I'll start my morning routine. And my morning routine is I do a spiritual routine. I read my journal. I'll read my patriarchal blessing. I'll read some scriptures and kind of just do that process. And when I finish that...
What time are we at now? 7 o'clock?
Probably about 7:30, quarter to 8. And then by 8, I'm normally in the office starting to get my day ready. Prepping the day. And then I'll get my day ready from
That's a pretty full-on morning.
Yeah, 100%.
Morning routine.
Morning routine's monster. Yeah, and then I'll start my first team meetings normally about 9 a.m.
o'clock. Yeah.
Jump on the 9 o'clock with the team. Do a Zoom session with the team.
Yep.
Then I'll execute my activities that I've got for the day, and then I'll do. My meetings are normally student meetings are like in the afternoon when people aren't working.
Yep.
So my day goes through to about maybe lunchtime is my first one. Lunchtime, I'll have lunch and then I'll have about a 20-minute power nap.
Yep.
And then I come out of that and I'll have my team 1 o'clock meeting. And then I go from 1 o'clock to probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is my second part of the day. Yeah, because all the student meetings tend to be, from about 4 o'clock onwards.
Yeah, you're working around other families' their work routine.
So for me, as the CEO, I've been sick. My first thing is I've got to be at a optimum level during work hours.
Yeah.
Right. And so today was the first day yesterday was the first day where I trained. Today's the second day where I've trained. Waking up at 4 a.m., getting to the gym, and then my gym effort is quite low at the moment.
Yeah.
I just want to be there. I want to try to get back into the routine, but I'm not trying to kill myself.
Yeah.
Like I normally do.
Just getting back into the routine.
Getting back the routine. And understanding that we've got a long day, we're going to shoot the podcast today. We've got lots of meetings. I'm going to be going till 9 o'clock tonight. I got to let my meter, my health meter, come back up to 100%.
Yeah.
So for me, that's been a big thing. Like it takes a lot. Like you don't realize the output is so high.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a big morning.
Yeah, that's a massive morning. People are waking up at 8 o'clock.
And not only that, it's high output all the way.
Yeah.
High output all the way. So for me, just getting back to my best has been a process. Yeah. But I'm just really interested. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of time to get back into the swing of things. And I'm just ultra conscious of, when in my role, a lot of my energy is for other people.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I'm giving so much. I'm on sessions with either students or team. And in those formats, it's leadership, mentoring, guidance.
Yeah.
So much of my energy is given to others.
Yeah.
So I've just got to be mindful that my reserves are high enough that I've got enough to serve others.
100%.
Within my function.
Yeah.
And then the me time, which is the gym and all of the other stuff that I do, that's kind of secondary. So look, tomorrow I'll probably do my first run since post High Rocks.
Yep.
I'll just do some zone 2, maybe 60 minutes, zone 2, maybe get 7 kilometers. Just low heart rate, just long, just feeling it out. And then by next Monday, I'll be back up and I'll be on. So while I'm on that, registered for Melbourne High Rocks on the
No way, you doing
10th
it?
of December.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think there's quite a few people doing that.
yeah, we're sending a crew.
What are you
down.
doing?
So the doubles again, me and Jordan.
Oh, he's both doing
Yeah,
that.
so this time, man, clip this, understand
That's
this,
good. Okay,
record
we're
this.
declaring.
So my declaration is we want to hit.
Wait, what did you get the last one?
So the one we just did, we got 1 hour and 24 minutes.
Okay.
Right, so for the next one, I want to get it down to an hour and 10.
Ooh.
So we want to shave 14 minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, which is a lot.
An hour and 10. What's that? Sub 60?
No, 60, 70 minutes.
70, sub 70
minutes, so an hour and 10. Hour and 10.
Damn. Oh, so you registered already?
Yeah, registered. Yeah. But I understand what I need to do from a training perspective.
When is that?
We're on the Thursday. I think it's the 10th of December.
December. Yeah. So we've got 3-4 months.
No, it's like 6 months. July, August, September, October, November, December.
Yeah, 5 months.
Yeah, five full months of training.
Yeah,
Easy.
man.
Got this. Let's go. Let's bang, baby. Let's bang.
Okay. Here are some questions for Massey.
Let's go.
Massey, bro, I'll be reading our socials, man, right?
Yeah.
Reading the
Hit me
Instagram,
with it.
reading the TikTok, man, the comment sections, right?
Blowing up.
And especially around the rental increase.
Yep.
Families
It's pain.
are frustrated, right? And with that frustration, they're talking about either they're blaming it on the population, immigration. Like they're like, man, why are there so many people moving into Australia? And the second part to that is they're not building enough homes.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on this?
Well, let's break that down. Let's take the first piece, which
100.
is population and immigration.
Yep.
Right. So there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Man.
So, but first of all, I mean, is it justified?
Yeah.
So in the last 5 years, in Australia, they've let in about 1.36 million people. That's people to stay, not people just temporary coming. They've brought in 1.36 million people.
Wow.
In 5 years. To give you a bit of context, that's about the population of Adelaide.
Adelaide.
So that's 1.36 million is just under the population of Adelaide. And they're letting that in every 5 years.
Wow.
So what you got to understand, that's not just housing, it's traffic. You go jump in your car, you go drive in the morning.
Yeah.
There's cars everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
The traffic. It's not just traffic, it's housing, it's traffic, it's pressure on schools,
Yep.
right? It's pressure
There's jobs.
on jobs, 100%. Like, well, where are they working?
That's
Are
right.
they taking my job?
They're taking my job.
That's how people feel.
Yeah.
And then it's also pressure on the education system, the health system,
Yeah.
right?
Hospitals, doctors, like services. So much pressure on services. When you're letting in the population of Adelaide every 5 years. That's crazy.
Like, it's monster. So if people are feeling like there's more people around and that, there is a lot of people, yeah, it puts pressure on everything.
Everyone.
And it adds to inflation. You got all these people going out and they're acquiring goods and services.
Yeah.
Adds to inflation.
Yeah.
So are people justified in being angry with the government because of immigration?
Yep.
They are. The way they feel is justified because the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah.
You can't just let in the population of Adelaide every 5 years and not expect people to notice.
Yeah, that's right.
Not expect people to get
Yeah,
upset.
but like you said, this is you're taking people's jobs. It's also, it's traffic. It's resources.
It's pressure.
It's pressure.
So much pressure. People are like, what is going on? You know what people do? So if it's traffic, what do people do? They get up and leave a bit earlier.
Yeah, that's right. That's
It's like, I got to start at 9, but
Yeah,
instead of leaving
yeah.
at 8, I want to leave at 7:30.
Yeah.
Instead of leaving at 7:30, I'll leave at 7. 7 leaving at 7, I'll leave at 6.
Yeah, yeah.
And they get onto the road at 6, traffic already.
Yeah.
You can't be peak hour.
Yeah.
So, and that frustration builds, but it is justified. And then let's just talk specifically around housing,
Okay.
right? So what happens is you need more housing
Yeah, to be
to house the 1.36
Adelaide.
million people. You got to house Adelaide. So then, well, let's have a conversation around construction. So the government brought out about a target for its housing accord of 1.2 million houses being built over 5 years.
Okay. So they're trying to match it.
Well, they're trying to say that's the target.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Okay.
So the first question is, are they on target?
Are they on? Yeah.
No.
No. Where we sitting at?
So from a construction standpoint, they need about 240,000 houses per year.
Completed.
Drum roll, please. Where are they at?
Where we at now?
In 2024, they only completed 177,000 houses. That's almost 70,000 less. So are they on track? They've got this ambitious target of 1.2 million houses that they need to build. Are they on track? No.
No way.
How far off track are they? They need to complete 69,000 houses every quarter from now to the end of 2029. But what you need to understand is they have never done that.
They've never done it.
They've never, ever done it,
Shit
ever,
for the
in
stars.
the history of ever.
Okay.
And now they need to not only do it,
Yeah.
they need to do it every time,
Every quarter, yeah.
every quarter. So let's have a look at how short they're going to be and what that actually means. So the government's own numbers are saying by the end of 2029, there'll be 260,000 houses short of their own target.
Wow.
But let's give me some context. I'll give you some context, right?
What does that look like?
What does that look like? 262,000 is about Canberra, right?
Size of Canberra.
The size of Canberra in terms of dwellings,
Yeah.
right? Canberra has slightly less than 260,000.
Yep.
So they are going to be, by the end of 2029, they are going to be a Canberra short of housing
Of houses.
for Australians.
Wow.
That's how far short
So
they
it's as if Canberra, the population that Canberra has today, but they have no houses to live in.
Yeah. So
They're homeless, basically.
every house in Canberra,
He's gone.
that's how much they are short of their
Wow.
own target,
Wow.
right? But it gets worse. The property councils, because that's the government's number,
Yeah.
but the property council are running their own data. And they're like, no, it's not going to be 262. It's going to be 462,000.
What's that?
It's the property council. So that's private. So
private.
government's got their own data, and then the property council, which is private builders made up of all those
More
guys.
accurate?
Well, everyone runs their own numbers.
Okay.
So accurate or not, this is the range now.
Okay.
And by 2029, they're going to be between 262,000 and 462,000 dwellings short. 462, that's almost 2 Canberras, bro.
Wow.
So when people are frustrated, well, let's talk about what this actually means.
Yeah.
First of all, that is what puts a permanent floor in the property prices in Australia.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, good question. So, you always get the articles, property prices are going to drop by 30, 40, 50%.
Yeah.
The sky's falling,
clickbait.
Armageddon
Yeah,
is
yeah.
here, the bubble's about to
The
burst.
Australian property market's going down.
Property market's going down.
Crashing.
The reason why the property market in Australia doesn't crash the way that the media says that it's going to crash, and they've said it for decades.
Yeah.
This is going to happen now. This is it.
Yeah.
It's going to drop by 30, 40%.
Yeah, they've been saying for years, yeah.
And the reason why it doesn't happen is this. There's too many people coming in,
Yep.
and there's not enough properties being built.
Yeah, the demand is just really, really high.
So there's a floor. The floor is built by that underlying demand. Everyone has to live somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the reality. So if you're letting in the population of Adelaide every 5 years, all of those people got to live somewhere.
Yeah, they got to live somewhere.
And they're either going to rent a property or they're going to buy a property, right? And that is what puts the floor in the prices. That's why property prices don't drop by 30, 40% in Australia. Because all these people got to live somewhere. And there's not enough properties being built to meet the demand.
Yeah.
So,
For the population already, and then the people moving in.
plus the people moving in. There's not enough. And they're not missing by a little bit. They are missing by a lot. And so how could a property drop 40% when that's the case? Well, that's why it doesn't happen. That is what people don't understand. And you hear it the most and the loudest from people that aren't in the Australian market. Because what they'll look at is how much property prices have gone up. And they're like, oh, yeah, that happened in Japan. That happened in Canada. That happened in... But what they're missing is the population data that supports property prices in Australia.
Yeah.
They don't join the dots. They don't know the local market. They don't understand.
Are you talking about people outside of Australia?
People outside of Australia, commentators, so economists. They go, we've seen this before. It happened in Spain. It happened in Japan. It's happening now in Canada.
They're comparing two completely
different markets. And what they know better is they know those markets, they know those problems.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're just taking those markets and that data and putting it over Australia. And they go, Australia's property's overpriced. We saw how much it's increased. So the property market is going to drop by 30, 40%. And then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Again. You know what happens? The property market goes down a little bit. And then it goes back up again.
100%.
And everyone's like, well, why did that happen? Why did that happen? Because there is not enough properties being built. And the government, it's all smoke screens, guys. So the capital gains taxes, the changes to super, all that stuff, it's all a distraction. Because the real problem is supply.
Yeah.
If the government really wanted to help prices.
But before we talk about that, I think what I'm seeing and what people are asking is why is the government bringing these many people into Australia?
Exactly.
Why don't we just keep the current population?
Yeah.
Why is there a need to bring, or why is that important for the future of Australia to continue to bring in, to open those doors to bring people into Australia? Why is that important, or is it not important?
Here's the real problem, right? When you have a controlled level of immigration, right, you end up with quality. You're bringing in quality people that add value to the Australian economy.
Okay.
They come with skills.
Yep.
They arrive in Australia. They've got skills. They've got talents. They're educated. They arrive. They can immediately become a positive contributing person to the Australian economy.
To the economy, yeah.
The problem when you get big numbers is there's no quality at scale.
Okay.
And so you're bringing in people that they get here and they become a burden to the economy.
Yep.
Those people, they land, they go on social services, they go on Centrelink, and you've
They
got
take more than they give.
Yeah, they're taking.
Yeah.
They're not adding to the economy.
Yeah.
The government has to give them money and sustain.
So what you're saying is the reason why Australia or countries have immigration is to grow the resources and to grow the country.
Yeah, look, immigration exists to improve the country itself.
Yeah.
So countries have deficiencies in different areas. So in Australia, number one is in construction. There's not enough people in construction. There's not enough people in skilled trades. There's not enough skilled labour. There's not enough doctors in rural regional areas.
Yeah.
So how do they solve that? They bring people in with those skills from overseas.
Yeah.
And they get them to go into the Australian economy. But what happens is when that number's too high. It's not
controlled. You said the word earlier, when it's not controlled.
So the people coming into Australia, the quality dilutes. And you got some doctors and you got some people that can go straight into jobs, but you get a lot that they cannot start working when they get here. They don't have language skills. They don't have employment skills. So the government has to prop these people up.
Yeah.
And they drain all the resources and all of that. So this is the challenge. Why Australians get upset about it is the two things. One, everything's more expensive and everything's getting harder.
Yeah.
And two, the country I love is changing.
Yeah.
People don't like that.
That's right.
So people want to be able to see if people are coming here, do they assimilate? Do they become like the Australians? Do they onboard the culture?
Yeah.
Do they add value?
To add value.
Do they add value to the country that they're now in? Or do they take away and do they increase crime and do they make it a worse place to live?
Yeah.
So for us, we're seeing an increased need in housing. Forget the doomsday guys that are saying 30-40% drops. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Because the demand's just there. Yeah.
The underlying demand isn't going away. It's not changing. So what is going to happen? Property prices are going to be soft for a little bit and then they're going to go back up. And all of the people that said, I'm going to wait till property prices go down. They're going to wait till they go down and then they're going to come up and then they're going to be like, I should have bought back then.
Yeah.
Right? Because fear kicks in. So very, very different property market, but population is real in Australia. Population growth is real in Australia. It's happening faster.
It's essential.
It's essential, but is it essential at the speed that it's currently at? Probably not.
Okay, so that's what you.
That's where people get frustrated.
Yeah.
So yes, we're a country of immigrants.
Yeah, that's
Immigration
right.
is necessary.
Immigrants, all of
right?
us. Yeah.
Everyone's immigrants, right?
Yeah.
But immigrants want a level of quality. People come to this country, they love it because it's very different to the places that they've been.
That's right.
The opportunities are different. It's real.
Safer. I
remember speaking, even from a business perspective. You know, like you can do business with people and what people say they're going to do, they've got to do.
Yeah.
People have licensing. They have a lot of expectations placed on their businesses, so they do the right things.
Yeah.
And it's an economy that works.
Yeah, it's a strong economy.
Right? Strong economy, good country, people love being here. But the government needs to listen. People have had enough of too many people coming into the country too fast. People have had enough of that. People have had enough of low quality people coming into the country too fast. People don't like that.
Yeah.
But from a property perspective, property prices are supported by immigration. And that is not going to change.
Well, Massey, I seen this article and it says that Sydney home ownership rates have fallen to the lowest level since 1950s.
That's crazy. It's crazy, but it's real, right? It's real. So what's driving this? People will point to obviously the unaffordability in housing.
Yeah,
right? People will also point to the fact that house prices have increased way faster than wages have increased. One of the numbers that I keep a close eye on, because we do a lot with first homeowners, is one, what is the average age of a first homeowner? So now it's 38. 38 average, right? And that number's gone up. We've been in business for 10 years, and that number's gone up the whole 10
so it's gone up, yeah.
The whole time. But the other thing is how long does it take to save a deposit? So when we first started teaching about property, it was 7 years.
So how much is that?
No. So how long?
How long?
How long does it take to save it? And on average, it was saying it takes about 7 years to save. And that number now is over 10 years.
Wow.
So it makes sense. If people are getting older and it's taking longer and longer to save a deposit, so you're 38 till you buy your first home.
Yeah.
Right? So that means there's a lot of years before you get to 38. Right? So, guys, if you're watching Instagram and you see, a 21-year-old buys their first home, that's not normal. And that's not even your competition. Right? 38 is the age when people are buying their first home.
That's crazy. Right?
That's the average age. So does it surprise me that home ownership rates are falling? No, not at all. Not at all. Because what happens is, so when you look at setting goals and achieving goals and accomplishing goals, one of the antecedents for goal achievement is it has to feel achievable. So when you set a goal, it's got to be challenging, but you also have to be like, I can do that.
It's really,
I can do that.
Yeah.
Right? And people go look and say, median house price in Sydney is $1.6 million. It doesn't feel achievable.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? It doesn't feel like, hey, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then they do the maths.
Because you do 10% of that, it's 160 grand.
And yeah, that's right. That's
5% is 80 grand.
Yeah. So people run the numbers and they're like, you know what? That's actually unachievable. And if it feels unachievable at the start, people don't put in the effort to get there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And this is one of the big things. So in the end, what people do is they go, you know what? I'm not going to own property. I'm just going to rent.
Yeah.
And we'll rent forever.
Yeah.
And we'll just go on nice holidays and we'll have pretty good lifestyle. And so there's a certain segment where they're just resigned to the reality they will never own property. Right? And we've said these numbers before. 30% of Australians rent.
Yeah.
30%. Right? So that's millions of people that are renting. And of those millions of people, I would say maybe 30-40% of those are like, they're going to rent forever.
Yeah.
Forever and ever. And that's not going to change. So home ownership rates falling in Australia to relate to the rates that are the lowest since the 1950s. That doesn't surprise. That's not a surprise. But what are people doing about it? A lot of people are buying into the despair. A lot of people are saying it's too hard. I can't do this.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the reality.
It's tapping out.
Yeah, tapping out. And they just become, forever renters. They'll rent, their children will rent, their grandchildren will rent. That's the way it's going to be. So home ownership really is now becoming, something that people aspire to, but, less and less, unless people got the bank of mum and dad, like you've got to be very serious about getting into the property market, and that's, people need help.
Yeah.
They need help to understand it's
then
possible.
I think also they need help, like the resources, the strategy, and like that. If you're like in Sydney, 1.6 million, 10% of that is 160,000.
Yeah,
they know that there's other strategies out there. I guess that's why we're here, right?
Yeah, but people got to understand, when you're buying your first home, you're not buying a median price property.
Yeah.
You're buying a cheaper
property.
property.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
That's the message that you need to tell people, right? So expectation is here, but it's like, brother, like let's get to this step first.
Yeah, so people just read the headline.
Yeah.
They're like, median
I think
price is 1.6 million.
To let people know too.
And it's like, well, okay, can you buy a property that's cheaper than 1.6? Could you afford a property that's $1 million? Could you afford a property that's 5? Like, what number is achievable for you and your family?
Can you afford?
What can you afford?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we could afford this much.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, but there's no properties for that. Well, there's no properties you like for that price, right? There's no suburbs that you like for that price.
I'm here to tell you
but
what you
there
need,
are
not what you want.
Yeah.
Right?
this is it. If
Needs
people,
and wants.
you go and buy what you can afford, you'd be amazed at what's actually out there,
Yeah.
right? But you know, a lot of people, like, man, they're getting heartbroken because they see the numbers and they just tap out. Let's just go to Bali, bro. Let's go to Bali.
Yeah.
They just go on holidays.
Cruises.
3-4 holidays. They go on
We work
cruises.
hard.
They eat out every week.
We work hard, Massey, man. Come on.
And that's how people just actively tap out. And we're just friends forever. Let me tell you about a family. So, couple.
Yep.
Late 30s. 38, actually.
Oh, yeah, I'm young, man. I'm 36.
38, yo. 38.
Yeah, I just turned 36.
Young family. 4 kids.
Okay.
All under 12.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Maybe...
One just started high school, maybe?
Yeah,
or?
so one of the kids just started high
And
school.
the rest in primary?
The other 3 are in primary. Young family in West Sydney.
Yep.
Right? So this family joins to teach me about property. Great incomes.
Nice.
Great incomes. Like we help
What did that
every
look
day.
like?
Well, we help everyday hardworking families, and these guys definitely tick the box.
Yeah.
So hubby, he's working 2 jobs in construction. Full time.
2 jobs.
2 jobs in construction.
Like 16-hour days.
16-hour days.
Bruh, that's a beast mode right there.
Yeah, and Mumsy's working like, you know, kind of the school run hours, that kind of work for
40
school
hours
runs.
a week still.
Yeah, she's still full-time job.
Wow.
So he's working 2 full-time
That's
jobs,
hustlers
and
right
Mumsy's
there,
got
man.
Mumsy's got a
Hustlers.
full-time job. So that's, you know, they're not seeing each other every day.
Bro,
that's
that's
for
hustle,
sure.
man. Kids.
So like income, they're on about maybe $5,290 a week.
Yeah, solid.
That's
income.
proper Ash K, man. That's proper, solid.
What's that per year?
That's about 275,000 a year,
Solid.
right? But he's working his butt off.
Yeah, 100%.
To make that. Like 2 jobs in a hard industry, construction,
Physical.
2 full-time jobs, physical
Physical.
jobs. He's about it. And he's getting that cash. So typically we see these families and the income's amazing and the other numbers they're a bit rough around the edges.
What does that mean?
It means there's a bit of debt around.
Yeah.
It means they've got savings, but more would be better.
Yeah.
And so they can kind of tidy things up.
Yep.
And make the financial picture just a little bit brighter than what it is. So they join Teach Me About Property. They do the borrowing capacity. Borrowing capacity comes back at about 1.1 million. 1.1 million. West of Sydney, that's enough.
That's pretty solid, yeah.
At 1.1, especially for your first property
1 million.
as well.
Well, first of all, $1 million is a lot of money, guys.
Milli,
But in
you
Sydney,
know, on that
property
milli.
prices, yeah.
But what happens is that's the borrowing capacity. When we go for the actual pre-approval, what happens is the lenders shave the income.
What does that mean?
So because hubby works 2 full-time jobs, they're not willing to accept both incomes.
No way.
No way. They're like, he's like, what?
Wait, so are they working? Obviously, they're working hard to buy property?
So what, but what the bank is saying is that's unsustainable. So what they do is they do a thing called shaving, and they don't just shave. When
That's
you
what
have 2
shaving
jobs.
means.
Yeah, shaving means you've got 100% of the income.
Yeah.
They might say, oh, in this instance, we'll only take 80% of the income. So when does this happen mainly? When you have different types of income. So first of all, you might be so if you're PAYG and you're permanent, they'll take 100% of the income.
Okay.
Right? When they start shaving, they're like, oh, you're casual. Oh, we only take 80% of the income.
Or like commission base.
Or overtime.
Overtime.
So overtime, bonuses, commission.
Yeah.
They won't take 100% of that income.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they won't take 100%. So they might take 70%, 60%, 80%, depending on the lender's
So
policy.
in this instance,
So in this instance, they've turned around and said, we won't take the second job at all.
Far out.
We're like, oh, what? And look, he hadn't been in the job long enough. So they just said, give it some more time and then we won't take it all, but we'll take some of the income.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get the pre-approval. It comes back 700,000.
700,000.
1.1
1.1 to 700,000.
So look, at 1.1 million, if you're humble, you can find a property, right?
That's about 400K less.
400,000. Yeah, because they basically got rid of the second income. They got rid of the second income. So if we look at that in terms of numbers, right? So 700,000. This is to buy a house. To buy a house in Sydney.
Well, okay, what can we get, man? What can we get? So on realestate.com now or on Domain?
No. So I'll tell you the suburb, and you have a guess at what you think the median price is for a house.
Let's go.
So Wilmot, where's that?
Wilmot.
Wilmot.
Mountain County, baby.
Mountain County, baby.
Ooh.
That's the hood, baby. That's the people sing songs
FTA
about that
from
place.
the area. From the area.
That's the area. That's amongst it. So how much do you think it cost for a median price property in Wilmot? Have a guess.
700, 800,
$890,000
$890,000
in Wilmot. In Wilmot. And guys, if you haven't, you really should go there.
Yeah, Wilmot, man.
Right? What about Claymore?
Claymore.
Where's Claymore?
Bro, Claymore don't exist anymore.
Bro, Claymore's Seatown, right? Campbelltown.
Campbelltown.
That's the hood as well, right?
Housing Commission.
So there, yeah, lots of housing commission. You're talking 893,000. 893,000. So these are, remember, their budget's 700,000. What about here's a suburb like your
So they're not even looking there.
Hey, in the
they're not
comments,
even looking there.
tag someone who you know who lived in this area. Eds.
Eds.
So where's Eds?
Campbelltown. Man, the back.
That's the back of Campbelltown, bro. That's on the far side. That's like
what's the medium there?
925,000
in Eds.
900,000
for Eds.
925,000. Or Shelby. Where's that?
Mountie.
That's Mountie County. That's amongst it, bro. That's amongst it.
What's that there?
Shelby, Bidwell. That's right near the island shop.
Yeah.
In Bidwell, you got the island
yeah.
shop, Norms. Shelby, 949,000.
Crazy.
Bro, that is the hood. So we talk a lot about being, be humble, buy what you can afford. But for a family of six, right?
Yeah. Hardworking.
So, your hubby and wifey,
2 jobs.
hardworking. He's working 16 hours a day, 2 jobs in construction. And we got your 4 kids, 12, all under 12, right? So there's 6 of them.
Yeah.
And they're like, we want a house. 700,000? The math ain't mathing, bro.
Wow.
They're nothing in Sydney for $700,000. So what's the play? So we say
What's
to
the
them,
reaction from them?
Good
First
question.
of all, what's the reaction? Like, think about it. Think about it. He's working 2 jobs, not seeing the kids, spending time with them, even with the missus, and she's working.
He's like, what can I do?
They're grinding it out. They're in the grind.
They are
moments,
grind.
right?
They are the definition of an everyday hardworking family.
So what was their,
trying to get ahead?
in that? That's like, from that perspective, what's their reaction?
Their reaction was heartbreak. They were devastated. And the reason why is because in their eyes, you got to remember, they're trying to buy their first home.
100.
And they were, 1.1 million.
Yeah.
It's gone down to 700,000.
700,000.
In their eyes, they're like, we're not going to own a home.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
This doesn't work.
Yeah.
Heartbroken.
So all the effort for what?
So the real question is, how do you respond when you fail? How do you respond? And I'll tell you how people respond. And there's only 1 or 2 ways. So on the left-hand side, some people get the news and they're like, it's gone down to 700,000 and then so you can't buy what you want to buy. So what do? They're like, stuff this.
Yeah.
They spend the whole deposit.
Wow.
They're just like, nah. They stop answering the phone.
Yeah.
They're like, we're done.
Yeah.
I knew this wouldn't work.
Yeah. Or later, do this later. Save up a bit more.
Nah, I've tried. Stuff this. And what happens is they take
That's the
all
population.
of that hard-earned money.
It's the immigration.
Oh, yeah. I hate the immigrants.
It's the immigration.
The immigrants why can only buy 700
The
grand. Right?
construction workers.
So those people will take every dollar they've saved and they will blow it.
We see that.
100%. They stop answering the phone. They extinguish the goal. They're like, we tried. That's it. This is not for us. And they go and blow all the cash.
Tap out.
Tap out. And that's real.
That's real. Yeah.
That's real. Or you get this family.
Yeah.
38 years old,
What do they
4
do?
kids, and they're like, you know what? And they look, the shoulders drop, the head drops.
Yeah,
they are
devastated,
heartbroken,
100%.
devastated. But then we tell them the plan. I said, look, guys, 3 months. 3 months, and the lenders will accept the income, right? Now, for some people, they're just like, nah, we don't believe that. We don't accept that.
Yeah.
This is a failure. It's not going to work, and they blow the cash.
Yeah.
But these guys are like, okay, then. So on the positive side, all of the cash goes up.
Yeah.
They keep working hard. All of the savings goes up. The debt goes down.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, let's kill the debt
Yep.
and let's get more savings in our bank account. 3 months go by. And for these guys, that 3 months felt like 3 years. You know, when you're working towards a goal,
Yeah, that's right.
it just feels so...
Well, they probably felt like obviously they came to us and they'll feel like they're already in a good position.
Yeah.
And then
which
it's
they
like,
were.
nah, bro,
You need this. Yeah. So what happens then is they hustle and grind for the next 3 months, and they lock in, and their savings rate went up. They're now saving $2,000 a week.
Wow.
Killing it.
2,000 a week.
Focus. Everyone's got that ash cake. The money's there, bro. For some people,
Temptation's there.
failure creates focus. Some people fail and it creates focus.
True. That's true.
It's like, yeah, I'm better than this. I'll show these banks what it's about. We're doing this. Babe, no matter what it takes, we're buying a home. And that attitude. That attitude kicks in.
Yeah, it's a different
and it shows up on the finances, the bank statements, the bank balance is going up. They're getting exciting because they've saved more money than they've ever saved in their lives.
Yeah, true.
And they're like, and their determination goes up. Some people fail, they dig in. And they're like, yeah, you wanted him? Well, he's here.
Yeah.
And they turn up and they
Tell me
do
what
everything.
to do. Show me.
Just
I'll
show me.
I'll show you, Massey.
I'll show you. I need to get another job? Do you want me to get a third job? Yeah. It's like, nah, man, you got this. So they kicked in on the savings. They kicked in and crushed a debt and they paid debt down.
So that was the plan. That was the plan.
3 months later, they could then buy a property for $1.1 million.
Wow.
So the borrowing capacity went back up.
Solid.
Right? But then what happened is they got we're a green light on the borrowing capacity. This time we're like, look, let's not get too excited. Let's get the pre-approval. They got the pre-approval. Let's go shopping, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go shopping. Right? But what happened was, so they were living in Western Sydney, right? Yeah. So not far from that Mounty County kind of area, up around there. And what happens is everyone starts looking, right? And they were willing to go all the way out. If you look at Richmond Road on that northwest kind of corridor, they were willing to go all the way out to like Windsor.
Yeah.
They were willing. And they said, look, we want good land, we want a pool, we want space, and we want a house.
And they work hard, yeah.
Yeah, we work hard and we want what we want. It's like, okay then. So they found a property. What they realized as first homeowners, they were very good at earning income. They were very good at saving. They were very good at staying focused. But they were worried about the negotiation process. They were worried about finding the right property.
Okay,
So that's where they worked with Edgar, who's the licensee at PA Realty, locked him in as a buyer's agent, and he went out and negotiated and put the deal together.
Yeah.
So they found a property in South Windsor. They locked in that property, and they were over the moon. They're like, Massey, it's perfect.
Windsor feels a lot more closer now because the construction's just going out more and more.
Sydney's, you've got that suburban creep.
Yeah.
But the reality is not everyone's willing to go that far. Not everyone's willing to make compromises. But they were. They work hard. They were humble. They bought what they could afford, but they got what they really liked. So they bought a property for $1,075,000.
Yeah, nice.
Locked that property in. They settled on that property, and it was crazy, man. They had to move because they had to move out of the property they were in.
Yeah.
And they're given notice, and they're like, Massey, are we definitely getting the property? They found the property. They moved in. They found the property. They were super happy, over the moon. And then it was like, guys, let's get the second property. They bought the second property by setting up a self-managed super fund. They had just under $200,000 between them, set up a self-managed super fund.
And they
bought their first investment property down in Melbourne. They bought a unit down in Melbourne, cheap and cheerful, cash flow positive. And so they own a property in Sydney that they live in. That's their owner-occupier. And they bought an investment property inside of super.
Yes.
And that only happened because of the way that they responded to failure. Because we're all going to have setbacks.
Yeah, 100%.
We're going to experience failure. There's going to be failure. There's going to be rejection. There's going to be someone who tells you can't.
Yeah.
But this time, it's not someone on social media, friend. It's a bank or a lender saying you can't do that. Yeah. And some people take that to heart and they kill the whole vision.
Yeah.
But these guys, mad respect. They stayed in it.
Stayed in the game.
They kept fighting. They doubled down. And their behavior showed up in their tough times. And because of that, they now own 2 properties.
Crazy.
That is a result. And hardworking families, seeing those guys get the blessings that they're working for, bro, man, that stuff fills the soul. Okay, Felise, one last question.
Let's go.
Share with us. What's something you're working on right now? What's something that's like a goal, something you're working towards, anything you're doing right now? Like, tell us, man. What do you got going on?
Yeah, I think it's just my physical goals, eh?
Okay.
Just my health. That's the priority for me right now. And I think we discussed it a couple of episodes before. Obviously, the goal is to continue to drop the weight, but I'm really enjoying just training.
Yeah.
For me, if anyone that knows me, I love lifting weights, man. That's You know, I could do that with my eyes
Jam.
closed. You know, that's easy for me. You know, but I'm really, really enjoying getting into to more of the cardio, and I think that's going to help me just shock my body, bring the weight down more. But I feel like, because if you don't know my story, I lost heaps of weight before, put the weight back on, and now we're losing it again. But I feel like my body's shrinking a lot more smaller compared to before. You know, I think that's, you know, maybe it's the muscle mass, but I'm feeling like, just cardio, like just the machines. I said it earlier. I'm enjoying the machines. I'm enjoying skiing, rowing, being able to do it. Being able to do it as a big guy is a big thing for me, you know. And when you've been big before, you know the difference. You can feel the difference, you know. So that's something that I'm really, really enjoying, and we're working towards that towards the end of the year. I got one question for you.
Let's go.
So you said earlier about routine. And I think that's a massive routine, Mass, you know. But talk to us. Why is that important for you? Why is it important that you have those things in place? And you're talking about, like, this is the standard of how my routine, and you've kind of gotten sick, and now you're coming back into that routine. Why is having that routine important for you in your role as a CEO, as a father?
Yeah, look, I think the biggest thing is consistency. And what I've noticed as I've gotten older, I naturally wake up earlier, right? So my body clock has changed. So rather than fighting that, I was just like, okay, then, well, let's do that.
Yeah.
So bed by 8 or 9 and wake up at 4 a.m. And my natural body rhythm, or circadian rhythm, or whatever you want to call it, my sleep rhythm has kind of fallen to that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then it's like, well, you know, like I went through a long period where I wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
You know, the business and all the demands.
Okay, yeah, so it wasn't always like this, right?
No way, man.
Team-App's 10 years?
Team-App's 10 years.
When did it shift into this sort of routine?
The big shift was probably 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
2 years ago.
That's
So
recent.
but I always trained in the morning, but my diet was horrific. All you big boys out there that like eating.
You don't need to say anything else, man. Just that in itself is self-explanatory.
You know what it is.
We get it. I get it.
You
bro.
know, you know.
Low energy.
Right? So I'd stay up late. I was working monster hours. I'd eat terrible food.
Yeah.
You know, and then that would impact my sleep patterns, and you know, there was always high demands on me, whether it was you know, financial because of the business, whether it was personal, whether it was spiritual. Yeah. We have a lot of callings and responsibilities. Yeah. And the reality is when you don't have the routine, it shows up. It shows up. Yeah. It shows up in the way that you show up.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm telling you now, I've been fat, I've been overweight, and I've been healthy, and I've felt good. And I'm telling you, being healthy, looking and feeling good, it's the way to be.
Big difference, huh?
Big difference. The way that you approach things.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. As a person who's been fat, you've been fat, big boy. Yeah. When you're big, man, you hide.
Yeah, 100%.
You hide.
100%.
You don't really want to go out. You don't want to get dressed. You try things on. You don't look good.
100%.
Right? It shows up.
It shows, but you feel it. It's a different energy.
You feel it, and you have a different energy. So what happens is when you're at the peak of your game, like physically, you feel good. Right? You look good. Right? And then you have a desire, you have more energy in the way that you show up for everything else that you have to do.
100%.
Right? And so for me, my guilty element for me for probably the first 8 years of teaching me about property was I would show up for everyone else.
But not for yourself.
I would show up for everyone else, meaning, you know, Team-App students, meaning Team-App team, meaning everyone else that I had to serve, right? And I would be terrible in the way that I showed up for my family. They would get the exhausted version of me. They would get the tired version of me. They would get the I can't be bothered version of me. Right? And that's how I would show up. Huh? That's real. That's real. Real talk. Right? You know, and then, you know, wifey's like, oh, how come we get the dregs? I'm like, what's wrong with you? All I do is work. Yeah. Whereas now, that's not good enough for me.
Yeah.
That's not good enough. What I want is I want to be able to work my butt off. Yeah. I always enjoy working hard and being a hard worker. I enjoy being an expert in my field. Yeah. I enjoy creating and changing lives. I love that. But what I also enjoy is hard effort in the gym. Going to the gym, training hard, destroying yourself, walking out of there, you're seeing stars, you know, and just having that attitude. Yeah, 100%. There's a saying, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Yeah. Right? So if I can show up in the gym like that, get up at 4 a.m. in the morning, get into the gym by 4:30, train really hard for like an hour and a half, But then when I get home, nutrition hard as well.
Yeah.
Like nutrition is everything, guys.
Yeah,
and I'm here to tell you, I'm 46 years old.
Yeah.
And at 46
You're
years
old.
old, yeah, you might be old, but what happens is you are now cashing
young.
in all the checks that you've written.
Young.
You're going to cash in checks in terms of the way you show up physically, right? So if you're an unhealthy 46, you have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
You have high cholesterol. You're pre-diabetic or diabetic.
Yeah.
You have gout.
Yeah.
Right? All of these physical ailments that make you a former version of your best self.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
you ain't there anymore.
Yeah.
You're not him. You can't even do the things you want to do if you wanted to do them.
Yeah.
And your nutrition gets worse and worse, and it spirals out of control.
100%.
Right? Or you take control. And it's the same with your finances. In your 40s, you're going to be at a stage where you're cashing in all the checks that you wrote earlier in your
Yeah,
life.
that's so true.
And your 40s is the time where you're like, okay, I can do what I want now. And it's the same physically. I see people that are my age, you know, you'll catch up with people you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah,
You're like,
that was good ones, eh?
what happened? You're right, you know?
Well, it's either you're excited, it's either you're excited to see, you know, have that, that interaction, or it's like, fuck, what am I doing with my life? Man, Massey looks good.
But exactly, you
know
see
what I mean?
different people.
Yeah.
So you're going to see the people who care about their health and fitness, and you'll bump into them and you'll be like, wow, you look good.
100%.
And people just naturally like, man, damn, you look good.
Yeah,
what have you been doing?
Yeah.
You know, I was on with a student the other day.
Yeah.
He's been with us since 2019,
Oh,
so the last 7
back in the
years.
days,
And he's like,
these
Massey,
days.
you look good. You've kept the weight off. Well done.
Well, that's
here's the thing, right? It's
that's
easy
before COVID.
It's easy to lose weight,
Yeah, keep it
right?
off.
But
is
it's
what
harder to keep it off.
100%. Bro.
So how do you keep it off, and how do you keep everything you want in your life heading in the right direction?
Yeah.
Routine.
100%.
And it's not the once in a lifetime routine. It's what do you do every day when no one's watching?
Yeah, that's right.
The alarm goes off at 4 a.m. You get up, no snooze,
Yeah.
and then you go to the gym. You rock up to the gym. Bro, it's the same 18 people you don't talk to. Everyone's there. And everyone's grinding and putting in and trying to do what they can.
That's solid, man.
Mad respect.
That's mad value.
And then I come home, and now I contribute within the home. I clean the bathroom, I clean the bedroom, I clean the kitchen.
You got some men of many skills.
Well,
It's not just changing lives, clean the kitchen,
Well,
making
what I've
breakfast for Paula.
first of all, what I realize is creativity comes when we're doing the mundane tasks of our life. That's when our mind really opens up and we say, oh, I've got to do this today. I want to do this.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're doing a task that requires zero presence,
Yeah, conscious effort.
zero conscious
Yeah,
effort.
it's just
You're
subconscious.
just thinking, and your mind's a million miles away, and it's
yeah.
like, Massey, you've got to do this.
Yeah.
The self-talk kicks in.
Yeah.
Right? And then the right spiritual routine. Man, get yourself right.
Locked in, no?
Locked in. And then when you start, you're like, yeah, I'm ready. And then how you approach the task, how you do everything with everyone.
Yeah.
Everything changes. The way you show up. And this is what I'm seeing at my age. Like I deal with some people that are extremely successful.
Yeah.
You know, there's some billionaires and some people that, you know, have created $1 billion plus portfolios.
100%.
People that have done a lot.
Yeah.
And you see the ones, because what can happen is people can become very successful financially and business-wise, but their personal relationships are a mess. They don't have any.
Yeah.
Or they're very successful financially and their physical relationship,
Yeah.
the relationship they have with themselves physically is terrible.
Terrible.
They don't look after themselves.
Yeah.
So we want to arrive, and when I say we, I mean me.
Mm.
You know, you want to arrive, I want to arrive where I'm successful financially. I'm successful physically.
Yeah.
I'm successful spiritually.
That's the goal, man.
And I'm successful in the relationships in my life. And if you can do that, and it might take a little bit longer, it might mean that you move at a slower pace, but trust me, you arrive whole. And you arrive being able to look the person in the mirror going, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Like now what I've realized, and you've been there, like we go and do fun things.
Yeah.
Like the experiences that we do in our life now. Before I was like, no, I can't do that. I've got to work. I'm running a business. And I had no time to go and have fun experiences with the people that I love and care about.
Oh, so we're getting the happy Massey now.
Yeah, there's the happiness. But happy because Massey is coming to the table for himself.
Yeah.
In terms of the physical, like, man, striving physically and destroying yourself through physical effort, it is so rewarding.
Yeah.
Like you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's a puddle of sweat and you can't think, and you can't see
I
straight.
think it's more that internal
But
confidence that you
challenging
get from,
yourself, doing something,
100%. We love
eating
that.
well, eating food and feeling good after the meal. Like that's a great experience.
Yeah.
Not eating food and then your energy levels are on the floor and you know afterwards you feel terrible. It's so much better doing things that align with who you want to be.
Yeah.
So I want to be someone healthy, and to do that, I have to sleep well, I have to train hard, and I have to eat well. And if I do those three things, I look good and I feel great about myself.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And then from a business perspective,
Great value.
yeah, I've got to be a leader. I've got to be responsible for the direction. How do we get from where we are to the next milestones as a business? How do we get to $100 million?
Yeah.
What does that journey look like?
Yeah.
How do I develop the people around me
million.
to make sure that
100
they're
million.
coming along with us?
Let's go.
And how do I form amazing relationships with the people that I love and care about and create memories? Create amazing memories with and for those people. Like, what does that actually look like? And so for me, when you say why,
It ties down to
why do we have a
that
routine? Why do we have a day?
Yeah.
Because success is born in the things that we do daily. The things we do repeatedly.
Yeah.
The things that we do over and over again, not the things you do one-off as a miracle effort.
Yeah.
That's not going to change your life. But what will change your life is getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning, training, having a great relationship with yourself, having an amazing relationship with God, and doing things for the people that you love and care about.
Solid.
Let's go.
Let's go.